Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome back. No, I'm not going to talk about this AI going to take our jobs. I'm going to give it a break. Today, we're going to talk about if you can't beat him, join him. So here's the thing that I'm going to say. When you're starting out as a developer, sometimes you want to think about what skills should you develop that could help you build cool things. So as a developer, if you're freaking out about all the AI, maybe there's an opportunity to learn how to use some of these AI services that exist and to kind of see how you could apply your development skills to building cool applications. One of my favorite YouTubers to follow is obviously Web Dev Cody because he's amazing, but he created an amazing application with another creator called Project Planner AI. What's awesome about it, they're using the power of AI to create a tool that allows you to manage your project. It's actually really cool, and they're creating a SaaS product around it. So the cool idea as a developer, all the cool things that are coming out with AI, maybe you're not a data scientist, maybe you're not a AI researcher, but you still want to see how you could build cool things. What I would recommend is start to think about how you can combine your current skills, learn new things to help you build cool applications with power of AI. And I'm going to show you a simple thing that I built, but I just wanted to kind of share this with you all here. And if you're looking for great resources for developers, maybe you don't want to jump in and take a bunch of college level courses on Coursera. The best place, and this is where I start, if you want to learn something cool with AI, just go straight from the source. Andrew Ng is one of the best instructors when it comes to learning things about deep learning, machine learning, and he has a website called Deep Learning AI, which has amazing free courses. He has courses such as ChatGPT for prompt engineers and developers, a lot of great stuff, prompt engineer with vision models. One of my favorite ones, and it's here somewhere, pre-processing unstructured data with LLM applications, pretty good. But basically what I would say, check out this website to get some cool resources to get started of trying to kind of understand how to work with LLMs. One of the cool courses they had here is chatting with your data. It's somewhere in here, build a LLM apps with LangChain. This is a pretty awesome course. And what I would say is just dive into this material and little by little learn cool things to allow you to start developing the skills to be able to build AI-powered projects. One of my favorite other softwares to use, a library called LangChain. If you go to their docs, and what's cool, they have LangChain docs for TypeScript, which is where I started. I'm now starting to pivot where I'm actually going to start pivoting a little bit more when working with AI, in certain cases using Python, because even though LangChain supports TypeScript, their Python implementation offers a little bit more functionality, but you could get far. If you're not a Python developer, which I'm not either, you could get really far by using LangChain and creating cool things. And they cover everything from how to install things, how to work with models, how to work on data retrieval, how set up chains, how to build agents. So my two resources to go to is check out LangChain and check out Deep Learning AI and try to build cool things. So with that being said, if you're just starting out, there are actually other tools that allow you to implement AI functionality where you don't have to completely design everything from scratch. So I just discovered a new service called AirOps, which is kind of awesome. And the reason why I'm showing you this is actually, you could try it out for free, but then they do have a paid version. But here's the thing is, regardless if you try this or not, AirOps allows non-technical people, you do have to be a little bit technical. So I wouldn't say this is no code, but I would say this is kind of low code. It allows you to create LLM workflows. And they have a lot of different cool examples here. For instance, if we wanted to create a new app, they have a lot of blank templates, but they also have a lot of already implemented templates that you could get started. So for instance, they have a converter marked down to HTML. They have a video for article, a bunch of different workflows. And for instance, if you take a look at one, for instance, use this template and you go to edit app, I'm kind of zoomed in, so it's too much, I think. But they have a template. And here they show you how you could easily build workflows, not being very technical, and I would say complex workflows of implementing AI functionality. By the way, everything that you are building here is just done much easier because you're able to easily add different LLMs, do transcriptions, image generation. You could write a logic code here. I was actually a little bit frustrated with this. So you could use JavaScript, which is my favorite, right? But if you use Python, I think it's a lot more flexible using Python. So this is why I'm learning Python, just to make things a little bit easier when it comes to doing stuff with LLMs. You're able to easily create memory stores to search or write to memory at different utilities. So it allows you to build super complex workflows. By the way, I'm not saying you should use this. What I'm saying this is kind of good way to kind of see how folks are using AI to generate complex applications. What's awesome, if you are a more experienced developer, you could literally build same implementation on your own or using a library like LangChain. It's just going to take a little bit more time. So I'm trying to be somewhere in the middle. And as I said before, I recommend highly in today's world, just like people say you need to know TypeScript, I think everybody needs to have a good understanding what you could do with AI, where strengths and weaknesses are. And so as a challenge for myself, every new application I make has to involve the tech that I like, but also somehow has to touch AI in some sort of way. And so coming back to AirOps, for instance, I created some applications from scratch, but I wanted to just kind of easily test out a simple workflow with AirOps. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to easily create a way for me to make embeddings and to easily create a chatbot based on those embeddings. So if you take a look at this app is super simple. For instance, we have a memory search here, which basically I easily created a store, which I'll show you in a second, which basically is the store that has the embeddings that I create. And what I'm able to do, I'm able to hook up the store to a chatbot that basically uses that store to answer questions around what we're doing. And so what's awesome, for instance, here I created a little memory store which has some basic data. And what's cool about AirOps, all the different things that you build, for instance, the store, if I click REST API, you have, I'm not gonna scroll down too much because I'm sure somewhere there's an API key that I don't wanna leak, but you're able to easily implement this as an API. And it's not only for just specific things, it's for every app or workflow you build. For instance, I'm building this flow where I implemented a chatbot to talk with my data. It's right here, it's integrate. You will see that you're able to have access to all the workflows you created via REST API. What this allows you to do, it allows teams to build complex AI workflows, and you as a developer are able to implement those workflows into your applications. So you don't have to just consume the services from this admin area. For instance, I work for a company called Strappy, and what I wanted to do, I wanted to create a plugin that makes it easy for folks to create embeddings. So in Strappy, we have lots of different content types that you could make. For instance, I want for every different content type, someone have an option to create an embedding. So let's create a new entry. Who is Paul? I'm going to say Paul Bratzlavsky is the coolest person according to him. He works at Strappy and loves cats. Let's click save and published. So now I want to make this information available to my AI chatbot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an embedding. I'm going to call it Who is Paul and click create embeddings. And what's cool, I implemented this chatbot using AirOps. So for instance, we just created embeddings. I have it stored in Strappy where I have the ID to the embedding that I created that's utilizing our AirOps store. So if I go to memory stores, look at block data and refresh, you could see we have Who's Paul. Paul Brasovsky is the coolest person who works at Strappy and loves cats. So now in my simple workflow, I build a chatbot which has access to that memory store, and I'm able to use a chatbot agent to answer questions. So let's click test all, and I'm gonna say, who is Paul Bratzlavsky? And click enter. And here it's using my store and says Paul Braslavsky is described as the coolest person according to himself. He works at Strapi and loves cats. So we're able to have our chatbot be data aware. What's awesome about this, I'm able to expose this chatbot via API, and that's how I'm able to have that same functionality inside my Strapi admin if I want to test my chatbot. So let's say, who is Paul? Paul Braslavsky. Click send. And here we see the answer. Paul Braslavsky is described as the coolest person according to himself. And what's also awesome, now I also created a front-end chatbot, which also consumes the same AirOps API. So now a user in Strapi could create an embedding, and then they could create a chatbot on their front-end application. So you could have like a little drop-down where someone could come in like this, and now we have a chatbot, and I could say, who is Paul Braslavsky? And click send. And hopefully it will get the data. Paul Braslavsky is the person who works at Strapi and loves cats according to the information available. So it's getting the data back. Let me ask, is Paul Braslavsky the coolest person? Click send. And boom, is the coolest person according to himself, and he works at Strapi and loves cats. So see, it's getting the data. And obviously this is the most simplest example that I could show you. These workflows could get more complex. And again, do you need to use AirOps? You don't. You could do everything from scratch with LangChain and basic understanding of how AI works. This is why I recommend these resources, Deep Learning AI, and check to learn more about how AI models work and more about reading the LangChain documentation to get some ideas. But just to understand, there are these tools that are coming around which allow people who are not super technical to create certain webflows. And you as a developer could help them to finish these workflows and easily implement this AI functionality into different services. So I basically wanted to make this video just to say, hey, with AI, don't believe the hype, but believe in the fact that if you learn how to not create the tools, but learn to use the tools to use business problems and build solutions as a developer, you're always going to have an opportunity. So let me know if you like this video. Let me know if you want to see more of content like this. Sometimes I make wild stuff where I talk about all the jobs are AI is going to take everything. And sometimes I share the reality of what you can do as a developer to help you continue to improve and grow. And more importantly, not get swept by the hype where everybody's talking about the world where there will be no jobs. I know the economy is hard. I know sometimes it's hard to get jobs, but it's not due to AI. And if you persevere and you develop the skills that are in demand, you are also going to get hired. But with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.